In a small and quiet village, surrounded by green fields and tall mountains, there lived a man named Roshan. He was a hard-working blacksmith, known for creating strong and beautiful iron pieces. People in the village respected his skills, and his work was admired by many. But Roshan had one big problem. He could never wake up early. Every morning he would keep hitting the snooze button on his alarm and stay in bed for too long. He loved the warmth of his blanket and hated leaving his bed. Because of this bad habit, Roshan often lost important working hours. He missed village meetings, delayed customer orders, and sometimes forgot about his promises. His father and the village elders warned him many times. They told him that his laziness was affecting his reputation and future. But Roshan didn't listen. He would laugh and say, "What difference does it make if I wake up late? I can always work at night." What Roshan didn't understand was that the world moved on its own schedule. While he was still sleeping, others had already started their day. Opportunities don't wait, and time lost never comes back. One day, the village chief called a meeting to plan a big festival. It was going to be the biggest event of the year. Many villagers were asked to help, and Roshan was given a very special task: to design and build a grand iron gate for the village temple. It was going to be the centerpiece of the entire festival. Everyone believed that only Roshan had the skill to make something so beautiful. But the next morning, when the chief and his team went to check on Roshan, his workshop was closed. He was still fast asleep. The chief waited for a while, but Roshan didn't wake up. Frustrated and disappointed, the chief gave the task to another blacksmith. This blacksmith was not as talented as Roshan, but he was known for always being on time. When Roshan finally woke up and found out what had happened, he felt terrible. He had missed the most important opportunity of the year. The festival was the biggest event in the village, and everyone would now see someone else's work at the temple. Feeling sad and embarrassed, Roshan went to see his grandfather. His grandfather was a wise old man who had lived through many experiences. "Grandfather," Roshan said, "I don't know what's wrong with me. I try to wake up early, but no matter how hard I try, I just can't leave my bed in the morning." His grandfather smiled gently and said, "Waking up early isn't just about setting an alarm. It's about knowing why it's important. Let me tell you a story." He began. A long time ago, in another village, there were two farmers, Dev and Ram. Both had the same size land, the same farming tools, and the same weather. But there was one big difference between them. Dev woke up early every day. He started working before sunrise, finished most of his tasks by noon, and still had time to rest, read, and spend with his family. Because he was organized, his farm did well. Ram, on the other hand, always slept late. He woke up when the sun was already high, rushed through his work, and made many mistakes. He worked during the hottest part of the day and was always tired. He often couldn't finish all his tasks. One year a huge storm came. Dev had already harvested most of his crops because he had started early. He lost very little, but Ram, who was always late, lost almost everything. "You see," his grandfather said, "waking up early is not just a habit. It gives you a head start. The world doesn't wait. If you're always late, you'll always fall behind." Roshan listened carefully. He now understood that his laziness had cost him a great opportunity. He had let down the people who believed in him, and worse, he had let down himself. As time passed, everything in Roshan's life began to change. His work got better, faster, and more creative. He finished customer orders early and received more appreciation. The villagers started noticing the change. When the next festival came around, the village chief came to Roshan personally and asked him to design an even grander iron gate for the temple. Roshan happily accepted. All of this happened because Roshan had learned one powerful lesson: the value of waking up early. One evening, as Roshan sat with his grandfather watching the sunset, he said, "Grandfather, I finally understand. Waking up early isn't just about time. It gives me control over my day. I feel more focused, more active, and I get closer to my goals every single day." His grandfather smiled and said, "Yes, my child." From that day onward, Roshan never returned to his old habits.